this is Charbria Shine, and welcome back to Max Out Girl. Man, I have a special guest with me today because today is our anniversary. Woo! Hey, babe.
Hello.
Today we have my husband, Lewis Shine. So today is our anniversary. It is our second year. We're still newlyweds. Woo! All right, so we just wanted to get on here today and kind of share with you guys just some things that we learned in our short time of being married. Even though it's so weird, babe, because it feels like it's been like 5 years already.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been through, y'all, listen, we've been through so many transitions within these 2 years. Like literally almost every month, a new transition as far as moving different places, changing jobs. I mean, so many different things, changing perspective, changing goals. I mean, for real. So we just want to share with you some things that we've learned. Maybe you're single and you want to get married. Maybe you're single, you're not sure you want to be married. Maybe you're newlywed, or maybe you're like, I'm married, but I just need a refresher. Okay. So we kind of just want to share some things that we learned, share probably some funny stuff and just share some tips. So babe, let's start with you. What are some things that you learned, or just something, in our relationship or just being married that you want to discuss, or that, some insights?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is get your money right.
I know that's right. Get your money right.
Because money is...
Because I'm expensive, y'all.
Because money is almost like a deal breaker when you get into marriage. You always hear the statistic of what causes divorce and things like that. Well, money can bring a lot of pressure into a relationship, especially if it's not right.
Yeah.
Because getting married and being married is expensive. Meaning,
it can be, yeah.
Meaning not the dollar amount in terms of, it's going to cost millions of dollars, that kind of thing. What I mean is that all decisions, a lot of things surround money.
Yeah.
Where you going to live, what kind of phone plan you're on, what kind of car you drive, if you're going to downsize the one, or can you still handle the two now that both of you guys are in a marriage together. And then here's the other reality. When you get married, it's your stuff and that person's stuff coming into a marriage together. So if that person is deep in debt and you accept that person, it's beautiful in the beginning, but when you get into the marriage, that debt is your debt now. So it affects your lifestyle. So something that you've been used to doing, you can't do no more. You have to consolidate everything into one. It's not two people now, it's one whole unit, and you have to govern your life based on the decisions of the other person, and they got to do the same thing for you. So your lifestyle may change. So those are things, those financial things, you need to look at you, and you need to look at that other person and what they're doing in their relationship with money, and make sure that you're saying I do to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's so good. That's so true. I would say for sure he's right, because when I was single, there was a time for me, it's just like living my best life, right? I'm just shopping. I'm going places. I'm doing stuff. I'm not really counting up the cost of everything. And it wasn't always like that, but it was a season where it was like that. And I think it's so important to save money. And when you save money, spend it wisely, because it's so easy to blow through money. And it depends if you are in a relationship where one person's a spender and one person's a saver, or both people like to save, or both people are spenders. And that's probably a little dangerous as well, right? But I would say, I was a spender for sure. I'm still a spender. And I would say it's so important to just save money and prioritize. And then when you do save money, not be so quick to spend it. Really, consult your spouse and really talk those things out. And I just think just that oneness coming together can be a challenge. But we didn't come into it blindly. Thank God we had great leaders before us, great counseling. So we were aware of this. But it's nothing like being in it, y'all. It's nothing like being in it and being like, okay, we got some debt we have to handle. Or, okay, we spent a lot of money on our wedding. Or, okay, like now, like he said, there are certain decisions that we have to make based on those decisions. And it's so good to think about that if you're single now. Like, okay, let me save money. Let me learn how to manage my bank account. Let me learn how to, open up an IRA. Or, those types of things. And so it's so many important things. And you might be a person that's like, I got my money down. I got savings. I got all this. I got all that. I don't have credit cards. I pay cash, whatever it might be. But then you might meet a person that's like, well, I like to spend, or I have a little bit of debt and I use credit cards. So I would say being on that same page. And like he said, asking yourself, am I saying I do to this? And if you're saying I do to them, you are saying I do to that. And it definitely depends on, after you say I do to that, if you are going to, be okay in that relationship. So yeah, that's why it's just so important to kind of know what you're getting into, have those talks about money, how you view money, and just your goals for the future. Talk about your debt. Everybody needs to know how much debt they have, because like you said, you're taking that on yourself. So you want to know, and how people handle their money. How are you going to have joint bank accounts, separate bank accounts? We have joint bank accounts. That's what we're taught in our church. That's what forces us really to become part of one. Like that's one part, because when you know how we are about our money, we don't play. It's like when you combine that money, that's a different type of thing, right? So for us, that's the route that we chose. But people are different. Everybody chooses different. But yeah, definitely, I think that's some good advice. So anything else?
Yeah, because, when you get married, it's you want somebody that's beautiful. Yeah, you want somebody you want to be booed up, handsome, all this kind of stuff. But that's like a piece of marriage. Like,
that's a real small piece.
The union part is a great deal too, and you're joining everything. Like if you want to stay single, and or a better way to say it is, if you just want your stuff to yourself and you want to do it how you want to do it, and all that, it might be better for you to stay single. But if you're ready to be in that place with someone because you want to do life with them, that encompasses a whole lot of stuff. I mean, we're talking about finances, financial decisions, where you want to live. I mean, one person might want to live somewhere where it's hot, other person want to live somewhere it's cold. Those kind of things. So, when you're considering somebody and dating, that's why this is so important to get to know somebody, because the wrong time to cross those bridges is when you get married, and now you got to talk about all the stuff that you don't agree on, or don't want to do the same way. And that's like a bad place to be in. So, it's really important. With us, we asked a lot of those questions. We went through marriage counseling, that sometimes can break people apart because they find out that they don't agree with life and how to do life. And so it's not a good reason to do it together. So, those are the things you got to think about, and especially the thing with the money, because that's a huge deal.
That's a deal breaker.
One person might want to do debt. Some other person don't believe in it. Wedding, how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Are you going to put it on credit card, which is a bad way to do it, or are you going to save for it?
Yeah.
And then I know this audience is women, but you got to think about right now, like, you want this marriage. If you want marriage and you want it to be great, you want to go places with this person in terms of like in life, not like California or something, in life, you got to say, you know what, I want that right now. So let me go ahead and go through a season of sacrifice. I ain't going to get every dress I see. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to charge up the world and just go rampant. Like, you might want to start preparing for where you want to be. And I'm telling you, like I know, when you get to marriage, if you got a nest egg of finances up there, in marriage is where you're going to want to buy those dresses and look nice for your spouse and be able to go places and go out. So, like, I'm not saying not do it now, because you might be balling. You might be in the millions,
And you definitely got to treat yourself, ladies. So
yeah. But
use wisdom.
My experience is like, okay, use wisdom. Let's not spin it all up, and then let's put some back for marriage.
Right.
And I get it. A lot of people say, hey, the man's supposed to take care of the woman. I get that.
But we want to have a little something for ourselves, ladies.
And according to you, based on your vision, you might want to have something for each other.
Right.
I mean, the man.
And so let's talk about marriage. So, like, he's right. Like, for example, when we got married, even though the perspective is, for some people, the perspective is like the man should come with it, but for me, there were some things when we were engaged that I'm not asking him to buy because I want to buy it, right? So like lingerie or a wedding gift for him, or a cute little dress for honeymoon, those types of little things, like I'm not going to him for those things. So I needed to have a little nest egg of my own, because there were certain things for the wedding and after the wedding that I just wanted, and it might be like that. And so it's okay to have your own money. I encourage you, to save up and not just wait for a man to come and rescue you. Because what if that don't happen? What if your husband is a student and, he's on his way to greatness, but right now he ain't got a nest egg of $1 million, right? And so it's so important that we both be financially responsible, and that you don't put all that pressure on another person. And for me, I'm going to be honest, like in my singleness, I obviously, because I was single, had to take care of all my bills, had to, be on top of everything, making sure everything's paid on time. And I was good at that. So I will confess and say that when I got married, I kind of just dumped it all on my husband, because I'm like, finally, I'm married. I ain't got to deal with all this. I got a man, like he can handle all the finances. I don't even got to know what's happening. Just I look at the bank account when I need something or want to order something to see if it's there. But I'm realizing now that sometimes that could be a lot of pressure if you throw it all on one party. So I'm really trying to do better at now, at least, knowing what's there, knowing what's due and stuff like that. And I realized just learning that for me, I don't want to put all that pressure on my husband. So he is the one that, makes sure all the bills get paid. But if I could be honest, I'm more than capable. I handled it well in my singleness. So just, in marriage, seeing who's better at it. And you might be both good at it. And maybe for a season, it's on him. And then you switch to give him a break. Or you might be like, I'm terrible at it, but my husband's good. And it's okay. I think I'm learning, or I've learned in our marriage, it's okay to lean on people's strengths. And what you're best at, what you're good at, but also support each other. Because I noticed that each person can get overwhelmed. For example, we're vegan, and so I cook a lot, because where I live is not a lot of vegan options. So I just cook a lot. But it was fine before a season. I started to feel a little overwhelmed, a little tired, and my husband stepped in and started to help me. So just supporting each other in that way. Or he makes sure that I have a clean kitchen before I cook, because he knows I get so frustrated when I know I have a lot of meal prep to do, a lot of cooking to do, and the dishes are there. So just supporting each other, having each other's backs. And it's okay when you fail. Some days it's like, oh shoot, I didn't get to it in time. But just having that grace and mercy for each other. And I think we're always going to be learning and growing how to do better. How to have more grace and mercy, and not out of our frustration taking things out on each other. So that's good, babe. That's some things that I would say. Supporting each other. I would say it's okay to shift, meaning make some changes in your relationship. But also, man, what I've learned, and I think it's so important, is marriage maintenance. I think we have something called Marriage Monday, and we always, whether we're reading reading a blog, or a podcast, or a message, or a leadership conference a marriage conference about marriage and relationships, on Mondays, we always sow into our marriage, because our marriage counseling and preparation beforehand was so great. But I think what people do is they forget to invest in their marriage while they're married. You do it before, but just I always say, like a car, you have to keep up the maintenance on your car. It's going to break down. And that's the same with any relationship, any marriage. And so I'm really big about that. And I know we're going to do it even more as things are opening back up to actually go to physical, events and conferences, because you have to sow into your marriage. And that's something that we knew before marriage, but sometimes with busy schedules, it just gets overlooked. And that's the most important thing. My most important calling is a child of God, but also a wife to my husband. And that's very important to keep that first before I'm an entrepreneur, before I'm a speaker, before I'm an author, before I'm a playwright and an actress, singer. I have to know that I'm a wife, right? And so, and he's a husband. And so that's so important to keep that in the forefront of your mind, that your family comes first.
It definitely does. And you don't have to wait until you're married to start sowing into your marriage. A lot of times you might have people that's out there just boo-hooing, where my husband at, where my man of God, Lord, where my rib at?
Oh, Lord, the rib. Oh,
but here's the thing. By faith, go ahead and believe that God is crossing your paths with that person, and begin to sow into your marriage. Go to some marriage conferences.
Read some books.
Listen to some messages, Start praying for your husband.
Yes, he gonna need it, y'all.
It's true.
He gonna need it.
It's true. She's right. She's laughing, but she right.
I'm telling the truth.
So start praying for him. God know who he is, so God will hear your prayers, and he'll allocate it to the right person because he know who you're going to be with
Right.
So, and the person is on the planet. They somewhere. Mm-hmm. So pray for that person. Prepare yourself. Get some stuff on how to become a wife. There's books and things out there. And so that when your husband meets you, you're a wife.
Yeah.
Because you're prepared to become one,
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of those things are, and here's the thing, you'll never be completely prepared because there's going to be things that you just don't know until you get in it.
Right.
But you could prepare the best possible way so that you can at least have some ammo and some wisdom so that when you come into it, you're like, oh, I've studied up on that. I've grown in that area because I've been around married couples, or I've went to, I've asked some questions. I've read some books. I went to some marriage conferences. Yeah. That is a premium, y'all. That is something that should not be shortchanged at all. I always say preparation time is never wasted time, because you will see. I know for me, I didn't prepare for everything. And when I got into marriage, I was like, you know what? I could have pressed in a little bit in that area right there, because, woo, Lord, it's trying to wear me out right now. Mm-hmm. So prepare yourself. Yeah. And there's a few ways you can prepare yourself. Some areas. Finances, which we talked about. Communication. That is another one. Communication.
So is this stuff you learned from our marriage, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm asking ladies. Look, gotta check up on. See if he's spending knowledge from knowledge of our marriage.
Are you surprised, Mrs. Sean?
So let me say this, ladies. Oh, go ahead, babe.
Nah.
Look, I done cut him off, ladies. Look, marriage 101. Don't cut your husband off.
Hey, look, that's why I come back to communication. The communication thing is, you might be used to cutting people off, but sometimes, I'll be honest, in marriage, and this is what I've experienced, sweetheart. So I will share this with you.
Tell the ladies.
You have to learn how to communicate.
True.
Because a big piece of communication is let the other person get their thoughts out.
Yeah.
In marriage, it's challenging sometimes because you do get into some back and forth things. And then you got a whole nother person over here that has had a different upbringing, has maybe in a different environment, that's learned a whole different set of life skills, or didn't learn certain things. And so now you got to mesh with that person. So that person may not be comfortable with loud conversations, but the other person may have been around that environment in their family, and that's normal.
Yeah.
The other person, it might be too much for them. It's just stuff like that. There's a lot of things in communication.
Yeah.
Listening to the other person, let them get their thought across. Really listening and not thinking about your next thought to the point where you ain't even hear what they saying.
Yeah.
Just those kind of things will take you a long way. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. So for me, I do cut people off. Not everybody, but my husband for sure. So that's something for me that I'm constantly working on, because I like to talk, as you guys know. So it's not even me trying to be rude. I get into it, ladies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You get into it, and then you thinking they talking, you got to say something, you ready to jump in. It's like, okay. It's so funny. My husband laugh at me, but sometimes he be annoyed, but he be cracking up because I'll answer him and it'll be the wrong answer because I don't even really know fully what he's saying because I cut him off with an answer. He like, babe, no. That ain't even what I'm saying. That ain't what I'm asking. And he did it to me today, and I cracked up because I was like, oh, shoot, I'm rubbing off on you. Now you done cut me off. So you definitely want to work on it because you don't want it to become a bad habit. And then the other person feels like you're not caring about what they're saying. And that's not my heart, obviously, but it's just a discipline to learn to let people finish their complete thoughts. And for me to slow down because I care, but my mind's moving so fast. Ladies, I know some of y'all can attest, but I have to slow myself down. So good thinking, babe. Thanks for sharing. I think another thing for me in marriage is to have expectations and standards. You guys know I'm the queen of not lowering your standards, not settling for less. However, don't allow your expectations to ruin your marriage. And what I mean by that is, we can have these high expectations. And again, we're not talking about non-negotiables that's on your list. Obviously, if you've married this person, they've checked off the non-negotiables on your list, the very, very, very important things that are, an indicator that this is the right person for you. But I'm talking about, for example, I'll use our marriage, for example. When we were dating, when we were in our courtship, my husband spoiled me like crazy. And so, it was constant travel, gifts, everything. Just spoiled me. Constantly getting my makeup done, always getting my nails and toes done, going out. And so it was so much excitement, so fast paced, so just, I loved it, right? And so when we got married, it was still like that when we first got married. But then after 6 months, COVID hit. Yeah, after 6 months of us being married, COVID hit. And even right before COVID, my husband was just honest. It's like, we got to slow down on spending so much money because we were blowing through a lot of it. And it was because, how you be in that honeymoon stage? You be like, yes, we going here, we going there. Boom, boom, bam, bam. Like, I'm just everywhere, right? Because I just want to enjoy that honeymoon stage. And then when things slow completely down and we weren't able to do all of those things, my expectation for marriage in that, what we call it, like the honeymoon stage, it's like, we always doing stuff. We always, and for me, that meant spending money, like we're always doing something. And so I had to really not allow those expectations to put a damper on what I felt our marriage was. And sometimes we can have unrealistic expectations and not realize that, or put your marriage on a time frame of, we have to accomplish this by that time, or we got to do that by that time. And you're not being realistic, and you have an amazing marriage or amazing husband, but yet you're putting unrealistic expectations on him and on yourself and on your marriage. And because of that, that can really give you a negative mindset. That's not of God. That's not even true. You created it because you've created this unrealistic expectation. And even if it's a realistic expectation, realize that your husband is human as you are, and you both have areas that you need to grow, you need to learn. But you have to also remember, the marriage that you have today will not be the marriage you'll have in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. If you're growing, and I suggest, as we talked about marriage maintenance, you're going to learn each other. You're going to grow. You're going to get the information and the tools you need to become a better wife, and your husband to be a better husband. And my husband always tells me this: give us grace, like give yourself grace. Because sometimes I'm not even kind to myself because I could be an overachiever. And it's like, girl, you got married yesterday. You ain't going to know everything. Like, your husband ain't going to know everything. Like, you literally just got married. This is our 2nd year anniversary, and most of it was during COVID. So it's like, girl, you definitely get a pass, right? Like, give yourself some grace. And so in our marriage, babe, I would say I learned that because I was hard on myself. And I think at times I was hard on you. Mm-hmm. You may have not always known it, but like mentally, I was just like, man, and sometimes you did, because we're very transparent and we talk about a lot of stuff. But I just feel like now I feel so settled in, like, okay, we're good. Like, we have an amazing marriage, and all those, unrealistic expectations, that's something that I created that's not of God. And right where we are is where we need to be. And I feel like, just ladies, when you're in these relationships, when you're in a marriage, giving both you and your husband just grace, room to grow. And it's okay. Like, it is okay. Maybe you're not where you want to be financially yet, but it doesn't mean you're not going to be there. Maybe, you want to learn something. Maybe it's something simple as like me. Stop cutting your husband off. Like, okay, work on it, but don't, condemn yourself. Don't, stay in a place of shame. Maybe it's from a sexual perspective. Maybe you're like, I don't know, like, how to be this vixen, right? Whatever, like, learn, grow, whatever it might be that you're dealing with in your marriage. Just know that there is an answer. There's a solution. You can pray about it, seek wise, godly counsel about it. There's wise, godly books about whatever situation it is. And that's what I've learned. Like, it's like anything. You have to educate yourself. Me and my husband have an amazing marriage. We just started. We have a long journey ahead of us. We have to educate ourselves because, as people say, things are only going to get better or worse. So you don't want it to be stagnant. You have to continue to educate yourself. And my husband's helping me with that because we've been reading a lot, doing a lot of stuff. And so education, and I don't mean necessarily going back to school, but just reading, podcasts, getting a mentor, just, constantly pouring into your marriage. And it's fun. Like, it could be so fun because you're in a relationship with somebody you love, and you can intentionally have fun, make it fun, have your date nights, have your marriage Mondays, go to marriage conferences and make it a vacation, and go to somewhere tropical. Like, it's a fun thing. You could make it such a fun thing. So what about you, babe?
No, that was awesome, babe.
Oh, shoot. I'm showing out. I'll show it out.
I mean, that's
I'm
good.
shining. No pun intended. Shine.
That's good. But, importantly, the thing that for me I would say too is look for somebody that you can build with, because there's probably nobody on the planet that is right where they want to be.
Right.
And if they are, they probably have some goals they're aspiring to get to.
Right.
So God made us to be builders, where we're always aspiring for greater, with him, we go from glory to glory. So there's never a place where you're just going to stay for the rest of your life unless you just choose to. If you want something greater, there's always greater in him.
Yeah.
So you want to find somebody that wants to grow with you, wants to build, somebody that's a builder. So, and then, for your ladies that's listening, you want somebody that can pour into you. That's for me, that's something that I really wanted to be able to do, because I love hard. And so I always told God, I said, Lord, I need somebody that has the capacity to receive my love, because I love hard.
Do I got the capacity, baby?
I think so. All right,
look, ladies, he said, well, I think so. You better know, baby.
I know you do. I'm just messing with you. I know you do.
He playing, y'all.
But, sometimes people, they have a hard shell to where they can't be loved.
Yeah.
And no matter what, we all probably heard, I know I've heard of relationships where, heck, maybe even been in some where you want to love somebody, but they just, because of what they might have been
Shower
through,
me, baby. Shower me with the love. Look, ladies, I could take it.
So you want to, I want to love somebody. And, and sometimes, I seen guys get looked at as soft because they have a loving spirit, So it's a matter of what you want, but, you want somebody that can love you, especially as a woman, because God made the man to be able to cover his wife. And it says, love your wife like Christ loved the church. And so you want to look for traits of that, because if he can't do that, then you with the wrong person. You need somebody to cover you and love you like like Christ loved the church. I mean, that's a mandate to the man. We supposed to do that. Ain't no out card for that. That's supposed to happen. So, so that's what I spent a lot of years just premeditating those kind of things, because I knew I wanted to be pleasing to God in that, when I met that person. So, in a nutshell, preparation, a lot of, a lot of soul searching for yourself, and then also a lot of watching. Like, if you're intending to date somebody or whatever, like, what's the reason? Why? Does it fit what you're really looking for in the long run, or is it just you just bored? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you just have to get all those things together. And I can say that with me and my wife, with us being of an older age, and it doesn't always have to be of an older age, but we were older. We knew what we wanted. We were setting our ways in terms of just wanting somebody that was doing the things of God and wasn't playing. And that's why for us, it was a quick process, because we had a lot of those things down and we're able to convey and communicate those things to one another. And the rest was history. Once we knew certain things, it's like, okay, I already know she's beautiful, and we got A, B, C, and D in order. Okay, let's do this. It's not even anything to think about.
All right, ladies. Y'all know I'm so silly. But yeah, we just wanted to get on here and share, about our 2 years, like what we learned. And we're just excited to share that. We love sharing, and we want to continue to share as we're moving forward, as we're learning, as we're growing. And you guys some great nuggets, babe, today. Thank you for coming on my podcast. Do you have anything, closing words? No, not long-winded, baby.
I just say, max out girl.
Really, y'all? He gonna steal my tagline? This is my show. He's so funny. So yeah, ladies, we just wanted to share with you guys. It's our 2nd year anniversary. Woo-hoo! We just wanted to give you some tips, give you some strategies, give you some insight on what we've learned thus far. And that's about it. So as you guys know, you can follow him at Lewis Shine on all social media. You can follow me at Charbria Shine, all social media, at Max Out Girl everywhere as well. follow my podcast so you can get some inspiration, ladies, on Charbria Shine. And if you want some music, check out my music on Charbria Music on YouTube. So again, we have some things coming up for you, ladies. Single Woman Chronicles, the stage play. It's my first play that I'm directing and starring in, and it's going to be a blast. So whether you're single, married, it's complicated, grab your LBD, which is your little black dress, ladies, or your SWC t-shirt, and come on out. Get your tickets. It's October 23rd. You could get tickets at charbria.com/SWC, the stage play. Okay. October 23rd. We want to see you there. Northwest Indiana. All right. And also, if you're in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area, August 22nd, our Pretty in Pink themed single woman empowerment events. Oh man, 3 speakers, 3 different topics. We are going to just have an amazing time. Food's gonna be there. Babe, you want to say anything?
It's almost sold out too.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, it's almost sold out. Thanks for, it actually is. So you want to get your tickets? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's we got a certain amount of tickets, and it's at that half mark.
Yeah, but it's like gonna be amazing, ladies, because it's gonna be at a Divine Encounter Cafe. Amazing food. I'm excited to snack on some of that food. And so it's just going to be a great time. And then we're going to have our Indiana, actually Maryville, Indiana, November 6th. We are going to have our Single Woman's Empowerment Part 2. So you're going to want to check that out, and we'll give you more information about that in the coming weeks. So we're just so excited, the things that God's put on our heart to share with you guys. So excited for the things to come. We just hope that it is a blessing to you. So as always, we hope we said something today that inspired you, encouraged you, and elevated your thinking. And always remember to max out, girl. This is Charbria Shine. Talk to you next time. Bye.